all it's going to be. All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Mwah coming to you again out on the highway and the byway, bringing out this gospel, this truth, to edify the hopefully elect of Yahshua, the Israel, so-called blacks and Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics. The 1 or 2/3 of our people of the judgment of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is increasing on this wicked queendom known as the United States of America, but it's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. And it's always a pleasure to let Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, know that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to end your reign of terror real soon in the most horrible way. And then you're going to go into 1,000 years of hardcore, brutal slavery, okay? And then put out of existence the conclusion of it. Before we get started here, let's give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Likewise, let us spin on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly, being the sheep, and you brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Another day in Great Babylon, America. Okay, but we're getting closer to what? Okay, the end of our captivity here in this wicked, sissified, sodomite kingdom. Okay, a lot of things happening. We still have that conflict going on over there in the Strait of Hormuz, which, Lord willing, he'll increase the death tolls over there. Okay, as Great Babylon America is don't have a way out. They keep talking about peace deal, but there's never going to be any peace in the so-called Middle East. Okay, this is not a time of peace. This is a time of judgment, a time of terror that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to bring on the earth to these nations, and in particular the Great Babylon America. Okay, and we have already read in the scriptures where the least of the flock shall draw in. Okay, which is the state of Israel. Okay, the state of Israel, where those phony kikes, okay, has basically stolen our land and our identity, okay, which is being revealed to the whole world that they are the false Hebrew Israelite, and the true Hebrew Israelites are in exile and captivity here in Great Babylon America. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to cleanse that land with thermonuclear fire. But first, he's going to draw, okay, these punk-ass Americans, okay, into an unnecessary war, okay, so that he can show the world, okay, his true power. Okay, let's go into the book of Proverbs 11 and starting verse 21, it reads, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." Okay, who's going to be delivered? Look at that fucking faggot. Okay, so this is our JSM show their manlyhood like that by being like passive aggressive. You know, they'll see the prophets out here on the highway and the byway, and they'll rev up their engine and speed. You know, and then if he had slammed into another vehicle, he would claim he didn't see it or he didn't do whatever case like that. Okay, it's not impressive. It's not impressive at all. Because see, bottom line is this: the fear in these passive aggressive men is when they see righteous men standing up boldly, okay, and proclaiming this word, this message. All right, and he just came from I believe the gym, speeding like doggone crazy, like. What is that supposed to mean? But anyways, you have our people that join hands with the wicked. Okay, constantly what you see going on. Okay, and you have the brothers that bring out the video. In particular, the one brother there, the elder brother Menachem Zach, or the GMS South Carolina, brings out the videos showing where you find these clips of JSM constantly having rebuttal. Okay, against the Hebrew Israelite, you know, various camps. Of course, mostly they talk about, you know, IUIC and, you know, some of these other camps, but mainly IUIC because they're the biggest and most popular one, in which, you know, right now a lot of them will claim that they were former Hebrew Israelites, and, you know, they discovered that, or they think that they were inside of some type of cult, you know, that hates on white people and hates on these people, and that, you know, we only preach about only so-called black people can go to heaven or whatever case like that. No, heaven is a place on earth. Okay, all the other tribes are going to be on this earth. Okay, when the Mashiach return, except they are going to be in slavery. They're going to be in slavery, and that's just the end of that. The so-called white man, no matter how much you go on ignorant niggas and spicks want to tidy up with them or cozy up with them, the fact that it remains is this: they're going to get judged for what they've done to the children of Israel. They're wicked. Just like how we got judged Okay, for the wicked things that we did, they're going to get judged for the wicked things and atrocities that they have committed, okay, against the children of Israel, okay, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Black Americans and Latinos. And it says right here, though hand join in hand, okay, meaning that you love their culture, you celebrate their holidays, you know, you don't believe that two men cuddling up with each other, okay, that's wickedness. You think that love is love, okay? You believe that we are all equal, that the Hebrew Israelites are not superior, even though the scripture made it very clear that we are superior to all nations. We are special to the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? We are special. But you don't want to believe that, because you ought to be in this decrepit, you know, slavery mental state in which your oppressor, he divvy out what he feels to give to you, and you just go, yes sir, master, yes sir, master. What we're telling you is that we are way past that doggone time. We are way past that fucking time right now. We are way past that time. So right now you see this, over here, you see this Eve. If I could pan the camera, I would. Over here with this, would look to be a Edomite. Okay, man. And this Eve doesn't look good. She's fat, like shit. And this dude is darky looking like that. They had this pet store there. But anyways, let's go. Let's continue on here. But they're looking over here, like, what are you talking about? What y'all are against is the fact that the scripture made it very clear that he's going to judge Esau. Okay, that Esau is going to get judged. In fact, let me bring it out. Okay. Let me bring it out. Okay, because this isn't our words. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 49:12. It reads, "For thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, who the word in God in Jesus, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup of the surely drunken." Okay, so we went through slavery. And now if I pan this camera around right now to you, I will show you, okay, hit the nigger baby, bug breaking, all the atrocities that was committed to us. Okay, now we went through the slavery era, which lasted about, 4 centuries. Pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, where we were born into a land that we don't know of. Had a language beat into us that wasn't ours, okay, and was forced to worship false images, okay, and you had the same thing happen to the Northern Kingdom tribes down there and what is known as South America, and hence they went from speaking their ancient language of Paleo-Hebrew, which we were speaking, to learn how to speak Portuguese and Spanish, because those were the ones that actually conquered them. We were brought over here by the English or the British, okay, hence the reason why we speak English here. All right, so that was what we went through, the judgment. Pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, if you don't follow these commandments and these orders that the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, has set forth, then what is going to happen is you're going to go into these, you're going to have all these curses put upon you. Okay, so guess what? The Lord is saying to Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, you're going to have these curses put on you. You're going to have judgment brought on top of you, where you're going to be a base at the bottom. All these other tribes are going to be looking at you going, damn. Okay, the same way how they look at us. Okay, now people, what the fear is this, is that people assume because all they've known their entire life is that if you're a so-called black person, okay, you are the greatest human being. So you must be used to that. You have accepted it, okay? And that's the problem, is Jakes have accepted it to the point to where even with the truth coming out, identifying who we really are and who these people are, that the true or base people are the people that are actually running the show. The ones that are going spreading lies and bearing false witness against us. They are so ingrained and so assimilated in that mental degradation that they can't see any other way out except those that the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai has chosen to put out of the matrix of destruction, okay, the matrix of lies and evil and wickedness. All right, why in the hell would you not desire, okay, the kingdom of heaven? Why in hell would you not desire power? Why in hell would you not desire to put the people who put you in oppression and in slavery and in bondage, to put them and do likewise to them too? All right, and the brothers, you know, and I'm starting with myself because I look directly right into the camera. Okay, and I don't give a flying crap what elite is looking at this or whoever it is at the top in America is looking at this. When I look into the camera, I'm looking at you, telling you, you're going to go into slavery, and you see me here. I'm gonna really subject you to some hard shit in the kingdom of heaven, and that's what's going to happen. Right here it says, "And I doubt he that should altogether go unpunished." Who the hell? So the Lord is asking you, like, who the hell you think you are? You what? Well, you're not supposed to go get this too. You're gonna get this too, man. All right, you're gonna get this too. Okay. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So you are going to drink of all the things that we drank from you. Okay? Come on, Esau. You got a history of doing some really rotten things to us. All right? I mean, I've shown it over and over and over and over again. Okay? We put it in our individual videos. Okay? But you've done some very nasty things to us, some things that we probably don't even know of right now, or what you've done to us. Okay? You know, a lot of information come on the fact that we were a delicacy, that they all used to eat us. Okay, that we used to get tarred and feathered. You know, what tarred and feathered is where they would take a drum and boil the tar, and then they would take a jake and throw the jake inside there, and then afterward they'll take chicken feathers and then toss it on you like that. Okay, and jake would still be alive when they come out of that thing, except now the skin is all melted off, and then of course you're gonna die of infection. But this is part of the fun. You have Christopher Columbus wrote in his log. Bottom line is he couldn't put a sword down for a minute because of how docile the Lucayan and the Arawak Indians were out there in the Caribbean. You know, they were so docile, that he could just go right behind them and just chop and kill them, and there was no fighting back. All right? They would come over here, they would give infected blanket, they would sneeze on it or wipe their bodies with it, and then give it to the Native Americans who had no type of a defense against the kind of viral infection that comes from dealing with these Edomites. These Edomites are nasty. Keep in mind that they came out of the caves. Okay, you don't believe it? In fact, let's go into the caves. Okay? Let's go and talk about this, where they came from. All right? And we're going to go into the book of Job for this. Okay, let's go in the book of Job 30. And that's how verse 3 says, "For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste." So this is the history of the so-called white man. Okay, the people that you see, wearing the suit and necktie, seem so proper, get the hair slicked back, and everything is white, okay, or white, which of course we know that they're not white, they're red. Okay, see, this is red. Okay, if someone can show me show me the color white, which would be similar to what this is, I have a crisp $100 for you. All right, because I've never seen a white person in my life, but I've lived around a lot of Edomites, especially up in the 1990s up there in New England, and I've never seen anybody white. They're pale red, okay, like a pink color. But anyways, who cut up mallows by the bush and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief. Because think about, I always like to compare them to, you ever seen Lord of the Rings? That dude they call Sleevey, I forgot what his name was. He always wanted the ring. He always would go, "My precious, my pretty, my precious." That dude, okay? But you can imagine, and remember Bilbo Baggins, man, used to hated him. He hated him because he stank, and he was a thief. He wanted that ring, okay, because he wanted that power. And this is Esau there, man. Esau them, they stank, man. They stank back in the days. Keep in mind. Listen to this. It says, "To dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth." So they were cave people. These are the original cave people. So I don't understand, Jake. I don't understand. Tell me, why is it that you cannot comprehend or get to the fact that you are better than a caveman? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, what is this? What is this? How do I want to say it? What is this? It's almost like an addiction y'all have with the so-called white man. Like y'all can't get over the fact that this is a caveman. He is a caveman. Okay? It's written in the Bible. This is the Bible that your preacher if you're in these doggone churches, should be preaching to you. In fact, to you Edomites, your preacher, okay, in these Anglican church and the Catholic church should be preaching that y'all come from caves, that y'all used to dwell in caves, that this is y'all, okay? And when you go into the book of Malachi, okay, it shows how y'all came out of the cave system and built what you have today. And I mean, in reality, when you look at that, that's an accomplishment. Look at it. You look at cars. You got planes. You got rockets, computer. I mean, you gotta hand it to these Edomites, man. Here they are right now, cave people. It says, among the bushes they brayed, okay, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, here, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. They were the Onga Bonga. Okay? So you can imagine society was pretty advanced for, the era, the time, I mean, the people didn't know any different. Just like we don't know any different right now. Somebody, let's just hypothetically speak and say somebody from the 24th century was to come here right now. They would think like, damn, this is so primitive. But this is 2026 and this is about as advanced as we've ever been. You have now AI emerging and, but someone from the 24th century, this would be like so primitive, okay? And this is how it's going to be. Esau, although he's advanced, okay, when the Mashiach returns, you can't imagine, okay? As they like to say in their scientific, documentation, and when they talk about, which of course they don't attribute UFOs or IFOs to, angelic beings flying these extraterrestrial ships or interdimensional ships. They attribute it to an advanced culture. Okay, that would have to be incredibly advanced to be able to build a propulsion system that can travel, the vast distances of the universe. Okay, when you talk about the Milky Way galaxy, which is supposed to be where we are in, okay, is 100,000 light years across. Okay, so to think about that to measure that, you'd have to travel at the speed of light, okay, for 100,000 years across this galaxy. The nearest star, which is Proxima Centauri, is 4 light years. So if you want to go to the next star system, you'll be traveling at the speed of light for 4 years. At the current propulsion system that they have right now, I think they estimated it's somewhere around 80 or 90,000 years to get to the nearest star or the next sun. But that's astronomical. Okay, so if you have Yahushai returning back in what we call chariots of the Lord, or what is the scripture described as chariots of the Lord, okay, which the earth will call it an advanced alien ship, you can't begin to understand the propulsion system, and that would have to be beyond belief. But then would that be surprising to you if you have, okay, the being that actually was created, who could then create it, beings that help him create all of this. Okay, we're talking elements. Okay, all those things. So, bottom line is that nothing is impossible for the Lord, Yahweh Shai. Nothing is impossible. Okay, so this talks about the fact that these people are in fact thieves, murderers, cave dwellers. Okay, in fact, this is let's go into the book of Malachi here, and because remember the Lord absolutely hate Esau. Okay, the Lord absolutely hate Esau. This is the book of Malachi 1. And with verse 4 it reads, okay, actually let's go up to 1. It said, this is the burden of the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shai to Israel by Malachi. Okay, in Israel there's a 12 tribe of Israel, so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Whether you all want to believe it or not, you don't have to. The way the Lord has set up the man out in the highway and the byway, and you have a lot of us, not enough of us, looking at the work and the size of Great Babylon America out on the highway and byway, preaching the gospel and basically, basically putting ourselves out there so that people can see and get curious. But of course, right now, because people can eat, you have a system still in place. Okay, Great Babylon America. People feel confident that they have a future. I don't. I don't wake up feeling that way. I don't wake up with jollity. For me, the day is always the same. You wake up, you do what you got to go do during the daytime like that. You exercise, keep your body, maintain your body, cook your food. Do a lesson if you can. If the spirit isn't on you to do a lesson, you listen to other brothers' lesson, give them a thumbs up, maybe even give them a salutation, share their video on other platforms, and you go about your business, rinse, repeat. And you do it over and over and over again until you come out here Saturday. I feel like I've been out here just 2 days ago, yet still 7 days have passed by. So the time is speeding up. Okay? It says, I have loved you, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord, yet I love Jacob. Okay? So, the so-called white man, okay, and so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, okay, we're actually relatives. Yeah, it's true. So, white boy, he might walk up and say, hey, what's up, brother? Don't get offended. Okay, he's not a brother in the truth. He's not a brother in the faith, but he is our brother. Esau is the elder of the two. Okay, remember the two were in the womb. You grab his leg. Okay, showing this is symbolic of us having necks, basically. Okay, but Esau pissed away his inheritance. Okay, for lentil soup. Okay, and this is how the so-called white man treats everything. He treats everything with disregard and contempt. He has no respect for anything. He doesn't have respect for life. Okay, he doesn't have respect for authority. He doesn't have respect, okay, for the Creator. Okay, who is the authority of all creation. But he expects everybody to bow down to him. They wanted everybody to bow down to them when they came up with the COVID vaccine. Talking about you got to take this jabberoni, and now they're coming up and saying, see, this killed a whole lot of people. And you people who actually bow down, even though you were warned over and over and over and over, but because you wanted to just save face and you wanted to save your life here, what did the scripture say? He that try to preserve his life is going to lose it. Okay, y'all people try to preserve your life. They're coming out now and redacted and saying what? Okay, that there's that injection had millions of little nano robots that basically can react to frequency, and you can control it with a damn cell phone. So when 6G comes out and they start sending those frequency out and people start going wacko crazy or whatever case like that, and this is why you're gonna have to be able to walk. You're gonna have to really understand the times that we're in. Take the cumulative knowledge that we have gotten from these news feeds and what brothers have put out. So I always caution you, Jakes, out here. You see a title of a lesson, click on it, listen to it for a couple of minutes, read through it, look through it. Don't try to ignore it, and watch as many brothers as you can, not just only the same doggone 5 or 6 or 10 popular brothers. I got it, you have your favorite people that you want to watch and stuff like that, but there are brothers out there, who dug information up to put a 30-minute video or 40-minute video, an hour video together. Okay? They're doing the work you're not doing. Let's put it this way. That brother is doing what your ass isn't doing. You just sit down and just watch it. Or, and so we understand that. Okay? But you can miss out on certain information. Okay? You're going to need all of it to be able to navigate through the times that we're going to be moving forward to. Okay? To the time we're going to be moving forward to. Now, most people watch YouTube for entertainment, TikTok for entertainment. They just watch it for entertainment and bullshit. Okay? I'll say 90% of the time I watch YouTube, I'm on YouTube. I'm listening to brothers' lessons, okay? Or I'm looking for information to build a lesson myself, or something that I can look and say, okay, I can see where that fits in the prophecy. Okay, but not to go off topic here. It says, and I hated Esau and invaded his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Okay, now some people always think that a lot of things are just talking about the past, that it's not something present or in the future. And if you have to understand precept upon precept, then you would understand, okay, that a lot of things that took place in the past is in fact happening in the present and is going to happen in the future. What does that scripture say? Nothing new under the sun. Okay? The thing that was then or before is the thing that is now, and nothing's new under the sun. So this is the reason why we have deja vu sometimes. This is the reason why you see certain things actually kind of re-manifest itself, and you go and re-manifest itself. It ain't nothing any different. The prophets, when they were on the highway and the byway back in the day, which that could be us, had they experienced the exact same thing that we experience right now. Ridicule, people ignore you, they don't see anything worthwhile about you. They assume that you're some vagabond, broke ass, just speaking negative about everything. Okay, well, if you eat the whole, like what the scripture say, if you eat the whole roll, okay, there's gonna be part of it that's gonna be bitter, man. It's gonna be part. When we were awakened, and I'm gonna speak for myself personally. I mean, I was in the world and I was doing every conceivable wicked ass crap that you can think of. I was into all of it, minus certain things, but I was into it. And then I found out, oh, you're not supposed to eat this, you're not supposed to do that. Okay, mess around with somebody's woman that's, that's adultery, and all those things that all the things that I had pleasure in, I come to find out that it was wickedness. So you have to repent from those things. And then, of course, you start to, learn more and more and more and more, and, learn about the holy days, things here. We get in 2 months coming up that day that we don't eat for 24 hours every year. It's an annual thing. You don't eat and you don't drink for 24 hours. Okay? We basically are costing our body, okay, as an atonement, okay, the Day of Atonement. All right? The Day of Atonement. Do these people know about the Day of Atonement? They don't know and they don't care. All they do is they stuff their face. They're all emotional. The men are pacified and emotional. The women are out of order. The children are out of order. And when it all falls down like that, they're going to be looking for answers. Suddenly, the men that were out there on the highway and byway that dare speak against the powers to be are going to become the men most sought after. Okay, you men that are driving by, revving up your doggone Raptor or your Bronco or whatever the case is like that, thinking that you're masculine, which you're not. You're not masculine. You're not impressive. You're weak. Okay? You're weak. A strong man will hide his strength until it's necessary to show it. Okay? A strong man will hide his strength until it's necessary to show it. Continuing, it says, whereas Edom said, the white man, we are impoverished, but we will return and build a desolate places. So see, boasting, man, and this is that spirit they have on them to this day. Hey, man, we're gonna make America great again. We're gonna rebuild. We're gonna get things back to the way it was. And one of the things is what cracks me up is these Edomites or these crackers. They actually really believe that they were gonna go back to the Jim Crow era. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? If you were in the Jim Crow era, you should have stayed in the Jim Crow era. That's not going to happen. See, Jake's them are going to fight to the death right now, even if they're scared. Okay? Because they ain't have a choice. Because 2/3 is going to get put to death anyways. And we're going to go into a couple of incidents that's been taking place lately, and you see in Jake's them. They're no longer taking shit from you doggone Edomites because, see, Jake's them don't have nothing to lose. They ain't no job. They starting to understand that, see, the Lord has put the spirit in them to understand. You low-level Edomites, there's no need for a so-called black man, Latino man, or Hispanic man to take shit from your ass. This is the reason why you see a lot of them trying to get into the police force, or they're trying to get into ICE, where they can hide behind a badge. But we're going to go in the second address and we're going to read about the fact that even that's not going to matter. Because, see, the way the Lord is going to play this chess scheme is he's going to allow this doggone, this wicked king that y'all have, Donald J. Trump, to ruin this place to the point to where you Edomites, you so-called white people, start scrapping with each other. And if any of you have dealt with these Edomites in your life or throughout your life, one thing you have to understand with them is that they'll come to you for an alliance. Oh, brother, I don't see color, man. Hey, we're all in the same shit. Because if they can use you and they have a need of you like that, suddenly your skin no color don't make no sense. Suddenly they're repentant from being doggone KKK or whatever the hell they are, okay? And they want to use you, a number, to go help them fight these other people like that. Don't fall for the trick, Jake, okay? Never trust thine enemy. I don't give a flying crap how much you come and go, well, I used to be a former skinhead, or I don't give a fuck what the hell you were. Don't come to fuck around me. I don't trust you. I will never close my eyes around you. I will never turn my back to you. I'm just speaking for me personally. Everybody, every man can make a decision himself like that. And no, I'm not going to try to figure out if you're a friggin' doggone Hebrew Israelite. Okay, the spirit is off. It's off. Okay, I'm not in the business to figure out what the hell you are. All right. They should build, but I would throw. So it says, thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shema Shai, they should build, but I will throw down. They should call them the border of wickedness, and people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai and the nation forever. Okay, so the Lord hates Esau. Right here, the book of Malachi said, and he Jacob of I love. He loved the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, we've always said that if he loved us, why did he allow us to be hung from trees? Okay, why did he allow us to be hung from trees? Why did he allow all of this stuff to happen to us? Let me show you this for a second here. Okay, because that's love right there. Okay, see that? That's love right there. I don't know if you saw it. Okay, and I've shown it before. All right, I don't put it in lessons anymore because YouTube will turn around and say it's graphic violence. It's meant to intimidate people. No, it's your history. Why are you afraid for us to put it up there? Because everybody, when I grab it off the other channels on YouTube, oh, y'all call it documentary, but when we say it and we add scriptures to it, all of a sudden now it's intimidation. You want to strike the channel? Go right the fuck ahead and strike the channel. Okay, you people don't get it. When the prophets come off the highway and byway and y'all kill the channels, this is the reason why you see they'll turn around, they'll strike the channel, try to, mess with us. But at the end of the day, they turn around, they'll leave, they'll put it back up, or they'll remove the strike or whatever, kiss like that. Because they understand this. When we start preaching, that means the elect has been sealed and the judgment will start. Okay? And we're going to go in fact, we're going to go into that. Okay? Let's talk about that for a second. Let me tell you what happens when we start preaching on YouTube. When you don't see no videos uploaded, okay? Because the Lord is actually going to put the spirit in you Edomites, okay? Who run in YouTube and these social media platforms. He's going to put the spirit in you to make what we're doing a crime, okay? He said he's going to cleave or make our tongues cleave So let's go talk about this first. Okay. Let's go into this. Let's start with the famine of the word. So this is one of the biggest. This is the worst famine that's going to be taking place here. This is the book of Amos 8 and 11. It reads, "Behold, the days come, says the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai." It's going to be at that time that you people, okay, after you've been bullshit so many doggone times by lies and half-truths, you're gonna hear so many bullshit, okay, that you people are gonna realize that, wait a minute, the only people that was telling the truth is those men that were out there. We didn't sugarcoat it. We never sugarcoat it. We tell you exactly how it's gonna happen. We a lot of time we give you some brothers will give you examples of what they did, of what they used to be. Because none of us are no damn angel, so to speak, or choir boy. We're not. Okay? We all have varied backgrounds and stuff like that. We all had, dreams and aspiration. You had brothers who wanted to be boxers, professional ball players, brothers who own their own businesses, and they might still have their business to this day, although they might not be pursuing wealth as probably before, and brothers in various things in socioeconomic status and also education. All right? So you have a diversity of brothers. It should be very clear and obvious to you that the brothers that are preaching and teaching are educated men. Okay? That are educated men. Have the same have the credentials that these people have out here. In fact, some of us have even a hell of a lot more. All right? But this is never about the individual brother that you see preaching out here. Okay? This is about feeding the sheep, feeding the elect of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's what this is about. To bid people to come to the feast, to repent. Now it's saying here that there's going to be a famine, okay, of the word. How is that going to start? Because at some point in time, they're going to make what we're doing a bad thing. They're going to blame us. I put out a video a couple of days ago called when the witness becomes the criminal. We're the witness. Scripturally, we bring out what this man has done to the children of Israel, so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos. We show many examples of what he has done and the atrocities he's committed against the other tribes on this earth. In fact, the whole earth is mourning. In fact, let's go into that before we move into what happens when we come off of the seat chair. Okay. Let's go into when the wicked. Let's talk about when the wicked are in power. Okay, here it is. Let's go to this Proverbs 28 and 28. It says, when the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Okay? So right now you have a rise of the wicked has always been outnumbering the righteous. But what you're starting to see right now is the rise of the righteous in the men of Yahweh Shai, that are out in the highway and the byway. Okay, so man was specifically chosen for this. Chosen, called. We didn't choose ourselves to do this. Yahweh Shai made it very clear. I choose you out of the world. You didn't choose to come out of the world. You didn't choose me. I chose you. And you got to think about that. If we are the men, which we are, I believe deep down that we are, and chosen, we have the privilege to serve, okay, King of Kings and Lords of Lords. What other better honor than that? You talking about you doggone niggas and spicks and stuff. Y'all want to pledge your allegiance to the flag of America, okay? And I can spend hours and weeks telling you how the military really is all about. Okay? You pledging your life to it, wearing that monkey suit, waving that flag, or whatever the hell it is like that, but when they send you peace and stuff like that, unwavering friggin' doggone loyalty to a nation that don't give two shits about your ass. But you can't dedicate yourself in the service of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Okay? And you wonder why, when you're getting judged, the Lord told us not to pray for you. The Lord told us not to pray for you, not to pray for y'all. Okay? So people don't value when something good is going on. Okay? This is Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Are people rejoicing right now? The last couple of years, we've seen a bunch of doggone marching. No kings. What is it? No Kings March. Yeah, the Black Lives Matter March, Asian Lives Matter March. Okay, all kinds of stuff. Okay, now we got tens of millions of people. They said about 45% of the population took those jobs. I know personally about 20 people that took it, that I spoke to that took it. And I asked them what did they feel when they took it, and they said that they felt sick for the first 2 or 3 days and all of that stuff. And that tells you that they took the real shit. They took the real shit. Because they immediately felt some type of reaction or contradiction, okay, to taking something that was not meant to be put into your body. So I know these people. I got their phone number. I spoken to one of them as recent as January when I went out there up in San Francisco. So I expect in a very short time, when they activate whatever type of destructive mechanism that's a part of that job, and these people, I already know of these people that I knew personally. Okay, I'm curious to see exactly how their body's going to respond. I'm curious. I want it to happen. And I also know people who bowed down and took it, trying to save their job and all that stuff, and still ended up 2 years later without a job, and still to this day can't get a damn job. So it didn't do them any damn good. So the wicked are definitely in rulership right now because people are just moaning. They're moaning about groceries. I was at Costco the other day, Friday evening, me and my spouse. We went there. And for half a cart of groceries out there in Costco, the bill came to $800. It wasn't the most we ever spent there. $800 for something that probably would have cost us about $175 about 8 years ago. But you have to adjust to the time. And so you can't sit down and really cry about what's happening right now, because you understand that what's happening is happening because you have the wicked in authority. And also, we're coming to the end of this wicked rulership. So there has to be a great tribulation on this earth. The tribulation has to take place on this earth, okay, in order to the heavenly kingdom to erupt. There's not going to be the heavenly kingdom and Esau's kingdom at the same time. Yahweh is not going to return to shake hands with the so-called white man, make some peace treaty, and Esau gets 1/3 of the world, and then Hebrew, Israelite, and Yahweh gets the other 2/3. No, it's an all or nothing thing. Winner takes all, and we already know who the winner is. The winner is Yahweh. It's just that simple, okay? So we're here to tell. We as the prophets, we have foreseen the future of Esau. We've foreseen the future of the so-called white man. And it's destruction. Your future is destruction. You're going to be destroyed. Your kingdom is going to be destroyed. You're going to lose World War III horribly. All right? I see 2 Black Hawks right now flying over there in formation, heading over to Fort Bliss. No, it's just one. Actually, it's a Chinook. It's not a Black Hawk. It's a Chinook. Okay? And so... No, it's an Osprey. Yeah, it's an Osprey. Sorry. It's an Osprey. Okay? Osprey is the one that takes off like planes. They can take off like planes and then fly like a helicopter. Or sometimes they can take off like a helicopter and then fly like a plane. Osprey. Oh, now that I see the angle, no, it's actually a Chinook. It's a Chinook. Anyways, I expect to see a whole lot of it out here when the war picks up. You can see a lot of action out here because they have a major base out here. This is our Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss is one of the places where a lot of deployments take place, deployment preparation. So there's going to be a lot of activities around here when that time comes. Okay, but as we was talking about the wicked in rulership, gas prices, food prices, okay, people whining and complaining all the time. That's all part of the tribulation that people are going to be experiencing here in Great Babylon, America. So this is something that we're telling you that you got to be prepared for this, because there's no way out of this. There's no way out of this. Yahweh is going to save the elect. And there's a scripture that talks about the fact that the righteous will be barely saved. Barely saved. So Yahweh Shai made it very clear that he's going to destroy 2/3 of our people through the sword, the famine, the beasts of the field, okay, and in the lake of fire, okay? And we go into 2nd Ezra, where it says that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be coming up against those that fear the Lord, and we bring it out all the time, okay? Those that fear the Lord, spoiling, taking their goods, and people say, well, that's a future thing there. See, Jakes, what y'all looking for is y'all thinking y'all want to see y'all want things to be at a critical mass before you turn around and say, okay, I believe y'all. I see this is the reason why the Lord is going to have that famine in the word, okay, in which y'all are going to be looking to and fro. In fact, let's bring it out. Let's bring that out. Let's bring it out. They shall seek to and fro. Actually, this is Amos right here. It says, actually, okay, this is Amos 8 and 11. It says, behold, the days come, said the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, which I read before. And it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, and shall not find it. Okay? Why they're not going to find it? They're not going to find it, okay, because the Lord Yahweh Shemashah would have already sealed the elect. You know the man that sigh and cry about the abomination that's taking place in Great Babylon, America? The sissies can walk around free. The women are out of order. Okay? They can murder and kill our people at will, and they don't pay no price for it. Right now, all across Great Babylon, America, okay, you have the United States government is grabbing up Latinos and Hispanics and throwing them in cages like dogs. Like dogs. They call them detention center. And they have a couple of them out here in El Paso. Okay? And the description of those that are witnessing what's taking place in them is they're raping the young Jake women. They're raping the young Jake men. They're raping the women. They're feeding them abomination, rotten food. Why are you maintaining them? Why don't you just send them back to where they're supposed to be going? But we already know when they was doing that, they were dumping bodies out of the plane, making them jump. Cruelty. Yet still, you have so-called blacks and Latinos and Hispanics have the audacity to still want this man to get a pass, just have these people get a pass, and dare call us false prophet and wicked, and that we are separatists. Yeah, you're damn right we're separatists. We're separating ourselves from this world. Okay? We're separating ourselves from this world. Why? Because the Lord is going to bring a judgment on this damn place. In fact, let's go into that judgment. Okay? Let's go into what the Lord said to us. Okay? This is Revelation 18. And verse 4 it reads, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come and for my people, that you be not partakers of our sins, and that you receive not of our plagues. The Lord is going to plague this place. You people are always going to freaking be broke. Okay? Why is it that you're broke and others are doing just fine? You people are going to be broke. You're going to get sick. Okay? Just when you think things can't get any worse, high gas prices, high food prices, no jobs, then, oops, you forgot one thing. You forgot you took the jab. Now, you're going to get sick real bad, and you don't have what? Medical insurance. Medical insurance. So now you're already in debt, maxed out your credit card, you can't pay your car, and all that stuff. And now you're sick to the point of where you have to go to the emergency room, in which they can't do a damn thing for you except they're going to give you a bill that's going to be about $150,000 to $200,000. Okay? Knowing damn well that they can't cure this pandemic crap that they put inside you. They can't cure it. So you're going to die with a lot of damn bills. Or you're going to live with that. And the Lord might stretch your life out to where you just suffer with all of that. Homeless. You get this plague that's inside of you, that's killing you. You're isolated. Just a couple of years ago, you was the thing. You had a great job and you got things going good for you. And because you got that job, now you have sores on your face and your lips, all over your body. You look like you got like like basically you are the last stage of having AIDS or something. Okay? Which means nobody wants you. And I'm talking about you women and even you men. Nobody's going to be near you. It's going to be truly, at that time, people are going to want to stay away from you 6 to 10 feet away from your ass like that. I sure as hell ain't going to want you looking like that around me. Okay? That's going to be part of those plagues. And we know that's going to happen when those, but for the people who take the mark of the beast in their hand. It talks about the fact that a putrid sore came on all the people that took that. Okay? But leading up to that, the Lord is gonna allow this man or whatever for many of you people, maybe not all of you, that took that job, to suffer some weird type of illness. Okay? Because what's one of the four judgment? Beasts of the field, changing places, all those experimental beasts and stuff that Esau does in his lab, splicing genes and all that stuff, some weirdo things is out there, boy. Okay? And you're going to see a lot of these things coming out probably when the power or the grid goes down. These night creatures, these creatures that probably comes out at nighttime, you're going to have apparition. The Lord is going to allow dimensional opening, which they use at CERN to open up dimension. So there's probably some doggone weirdo shit that's already on Earth right now that's just being held back right now. Where the Lord is blocking the eyes of people to see these things. Okay? And there's going to be certain people that the Lord is going to allow to see this. If you're righteous and protected, the Lord is not going to allow you to see something that's going to cause you to give up the ghost. He's just not going to let you. He's not going to do that to you. He's going to do it to the wicked, though. They're going to see something like, what the hell was that? And give up the ghost. You don't see it. Just like how they can't see, okay, what we can see concerning the end of times and, what the Lord Yahweh has given to us right now. Why is it that we can see it so easy, but then they can't see it? Because our eyes are open, theirs isn't. Our eyes are open to seeing this, theirs isn't. So the same thing likewise when these manifestation of these ethereal creatures or spirits that probably will cause you to have a heart attack. These people are going to see it, and we're not going to see it. They're going to experience it. We're not going to experience it. They're going to experience a poltergeist. We're not. So we're going to come out of this place. Now, let's talk about what the Lord is, what happens when we come off the highway and the byway. Okay? Okay? This is the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 9, verse 3, and it reads, "And the glory of the power of Israel was going up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed in linen, which had the writer's ink on by his side. And the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, and that cry for all the abomination that has been done in the midst thereof." So you have, of course you can say this is in the past or whatever, cases like that, but you still have it today. So Jerusalem is the people before a place. Everybody on this 12 tribe chart that I have in front of you right now that I'm leaning on, okay, it's Jerusalem. Jerusalem, okay? Jerusalem. You have brothers or prophets from all the tribes that are preaching across this earth. Some of them we haven't even seen on YouTube. They may not have the ability to be on YouTube, but they're out there no matter what. They're still out there doing it. Okay? They may not have they have a YouTube. I'm subscribing to new brothers that I didn't even know about right now. I just subscribed to one yesterday. He had about 8-9 subscribers. Right? How did I came across him? From Instagram. When I post on Instagram, which I only post like AI visuals from my lesson, there. He came across it. I didn't ever seen him before. But so I go and I click on it, I look and it's him, okay, he's preaching the exact same thing that we are, so obviously he, he's doing the work. So there are those that are doing the work that may not have the popularity, or they don't have, they might not have internet. Some people don't actually have it. This is the reason why I was told to come out here on the highway and the byway and preach. You have people that go and say, oh, hey, that guy is always under that tree on Zaragoza. That guy, every Sunday, he's under the tree right around this particular time, he's over there. Okay, what is he all about? And then somebody might pull up here. I chose this particular spot because there's a lot of parking space around here. Okay, so it's convenient. And for people to pull up in the back and come and ask question, and it's stopping. And this is a very busy road. It's a very busy road out here. Okay, a lot of traffic. So it's saying right here that there's going to be a sealing off the elect. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. So this is an order coming from the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. You retarded ass Christians, and we're talking to you Jakes in particular, you've been bamboozled by the doggone Caucasian version of who the power is. This nice guy, he doesn't kill kids, he doesn't do, but really? He killed all the kids in the flood, except there was only adults that were saved actually in the flood. There had to have been children, right? So they're all dead. They all died. Okay? What about the tsunami in Japan? What about the nuclear explosions over there in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? What about when the airplane crashed? You're on board those planes too. Car accidents, overdose. I mean, you name it. Okay? The Lord doesn't have a respect to a person. He doesn't have to. Okay? When you die, your spirit goes to him and he puts it in another body. And it depends on what kind of piece of crap you was or what you were in your previous life. You got to go pay the price and pay the price for it. Your life could be a miserable hell. How many of our men have sat in prison since they were like 12 years old, 13 years old? Their entire life is spent incarcerated for something they didn't even do. That's hell. That is hell. But the Lord did not put them to death. The Lord put them away for 40 years. All their life. But they could have played video games and get a girlfriend and do whatever. They spent behind bars for something that they did not fucking do. And the Lord can judge you in that kind of situation like that, where you didn't do anything, but you wind up paying the price for something that you didn't do. And that's hell. The Lord can put you in that situation. Okay? So here it is right here. Who sighs and cries about the injustice, okay, against the children of Israel? We do. Okay? It's not popular. When people see the sign here and they see, they see something like this. Okay? Oh, he's a racist, or he's against a white man, or whatever, kids like that. Okay? But you're the same ones, you're the same doggone, you Latinos will drive by, you don't give reverence to it, you don't want to stop here and ask questions. But when the doggone when these same people give the order for them to go round your ass up, okay, now all of a sudden now you realize that the white man is a bad guy. And then now all of a sudden, hey, chocolate or a black guy, why don't you go come and march for us? Okay? And that's a division between our tribes. Okay? What we're telling you is we're all the same people who have gone through different oppression. Okay? Have gone through the same oppression. We're still all being held captives here in Great Babylon, America. Okay, what does it say? What does the scripture say? The children of Israel and Judah have been held captive. And they won't be let go. We're not going to be let go. That's why there's going to be a rescue mission. A rescue mission by the Yahweh Shai. He's coming with the heavenly host. Okay? Because at some point in time, Esau is just going to say, screw it, and he's going to try to wipe us out. But here it is, we are sighing and crying about this damn devil, what he has done. Okay, all the wickedness he's done, all the snares that he's laying out, that we have put out there. We can see it. We talk about the future intention of this man. When we talk about the mark of the beast, people don't take this, they don't take it serious. They don't take it serious until it's here. That they realize, wait a minute. I remember seeing that sign. Out there where you're going to get an RFID microchip in your hand. It's bigger than 666. You don't understand. Leading up to this, it would mean, okay, that society has broken down. Chaos is abrupt. Chaos is all across this planet. Okay, you have so shortage. It's going to be hell. And that's when they come up with that. Okay? Leading up to this, when this is actually implemented, that depopulation, thing that they was looking to do, that would be taking place, because a lot of people are going to be dead by the time they implement this. Okay? And whatever is remaining in society, which you're going to have many of those that's going to resist it, not because they're spiritual and holy and is listening to the warnings that's coming from the prophets, it's because they're just going to resist no matter what. They don't be told what to do. And we can go to Revelation, I think it's in Revelation 2 and 10. Okay. Where the Mashiach said what? There's a special protection for those that are his. Because this is going to be a very, very difficult time on this earth. Very difficult time. Well, he's going to put some of us in prison, told us not to fear a lot of these things. Well, what I really want to bring up is, let's see. This is the one I think I want to bring up here. This is Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is what? I mean, things are going to be tough. I mean, we're gonna be faced with, how do you live, man? You can't pay your bill without this. You can't eat, which is the basics. You ain't really worried about paying your bill. Like, eat. You can't buy or sell. So how do you eat? You have to buy. I mean, nothing, man. You are not going to be able to do a damn thing. Even the basics of eating, because, I mean, brothers and sisters can live in a tent. You can live outside. You get a little bit, you can sleep outside. I've done it. I've slept in tents. I've slept in vehicles. You can do it. But, man, imagine you can't eat. You can't buy or sell, do nothing. So you're still going to have a doggone economy going on this earth. Even here in Great Babylon, America, where the new currency now is you have to have this new identification system to buy or sell, have license, business license, all that stuff. So if you love this world, you are definitely going to be condemned already, because bottom line is you're not going to give up what you have. The more you have to give up, the more likely you are going to say, hell no, I'm not giving up my life. Especially if you don't believe there's going to be an end. If you don't believe there's going to be an end, then you're not going to give up your life like that. You're going to just bow right down to it. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? So that's going to be a judgment. That's a cold judgment that's going to be on this whole entire earth. Whole entire earth. Global chaos. Okay? The cortisol level in people is going to be so high, it's going to be insane. And this is right around the corner. That's the thing about it. This isn't something that's like 100 years in the future. Measure the time diligently. We're talking something that can occur in the next 5 years with ease. With ease. Let's finish this off. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah said to him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the man, the sign and cry for all abomination that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, sealing the elect. And to the other he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him to the city and smite, that not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Okay, so it talks about the fact that, okay, these dead angels, or these angels that are on this earth that's controlling, each one of us have an angel assigned to us. When we do camp out here, we are surrounded by angels. At any given time, anybody can come and stop here put me to death. They could do all kinds of bad things. But we don't go to the highway and byway with fear. We don't. We don't go on the highway and byway with fear because we understand who actually has the judgment over us, which is Yahweh Shah. So we don't go here with fear. But you see here where the elect is sealed, and then you have angels, okay, that are given the authority to go and slay people that don't have the exemption mark on them. And that is what's going to happen out here. Why is it that your brother and your sister got eaten up by a wolf or some weirdo creature and you didn't? Why your neighbor's house got all robbed up and burned down, but yours didn't? Why they dying of some weirdo illness, but you don't? Why is it that they're starving, but somehow you have food? And conveniently, the Lord will make sure that you eat and don't have nobody else around you who's going to be there begging you for food for you to go, oh, well, I only have enough for me. No, the Lord is going to have these people scrambling around. It's the first time things go bad. What are these people going to do? These people are going to go and try to storm these stores down to get what they can get. And it's just going to be a melee, and a lot of death is going to occur. We, as the righteous, understand that this is just the beginning of us having to, which we have depended on the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai our entire life, and we do right now. But then at this stage, we're going to understand that, okay, right now, this is going to be time where you're going to have to pray more and more and more and more. And yeah, there might be a day or two you can't eat. That's why we train in the fasting and stuff like that. You might have to turn around and there's food, but you might have to feed the kids and the women. Because they can't hold off like you can. You understand what I'm saying? And this is going to be part of that test that we're going to have as men of the Lord and warriors at the same time. You know, it's going to be expected that, yeah, you might have to give up your food in order for your wife to eat or the women. Let's say you know, a lot of brothers want to have those 7 women. You might have to give up the food for the women and the kids that are under your authority, that the Lord has placed under your authority to get through, you know, Jacob's trouble. All right? So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shema Shai by Shema Kakadash. Shalom.